Hello there, what is going on everybody? Today we are doing something very cool. We're going to be taking a look at the Super 7 Cat's Lair from the Thundercats line. This is something I've been looking forward to for, oh gosh, almost like 2 years now. I've been waiting for it forever. I have been a massive Thundercats fan ever since I was about yay tall and watching every day after school or on Saturday mornings, Thundercats, Masters of the Universe. Loved all of that stuff. Ninja Turtles, as I got a little older, started to outgrow Thundercats, got into Ninja Turtles, got a lot of stuff, but nothing ever exceeded Thundercats for me. So I've always been a huge Thundercats fan, and I was getting some of the Maddie Collect stuff, and as they transitioned over to Super 7, when I did the Thunder Tank, which you can kind of see over my shoulder back there, we're going to unbox the Cat's Lair. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to do some size comparisons, see how it looks compared to the rest of the figures, and also see how it looks compared to smaller figures, because it's not a one-to-one scale. It's not in the same scale that they did the Thunder Tank in, which is like a true scale what the characters can actually fit in, just like they would have in the show. This is more of a play set, kind of in the style of the original Cat's Lair, but just scaled up a little bit, but not quite as much as the Thunder Tank was. But I think it would work really well with like smaller tabletop miniatures. I feel like it could work as a really good castle or backdrop or terrain piece or set piece for a lot of tabletop miniatures games. Smaller scale things like Warhammer, Cyberpunks, things like Star Wars Legion, and a lot of stuff like that. And since Thundercats kind of fits in this kind of medieval fantasy meets futuristic tech, it kind of works in a whole lot of mixed worlds. So I feel like it could be at least roughly appropriate for just about any tabletop game that's out there. So I want to see how it works in both settings. Plus, I've got these zombie side Thundercats miniatures and some other small Thundercats miniatures that we can also line up and see how it works with all of that other stuff. So let's get this thing open. Now, there is some damage to the box, which you're going to see in just a second, and we'll show you just how big this box is, because I'm close to the camera right now, but I'm going to show you in just a minute. And plus, if you like what you see here, I'd love to have you stick around. Click that subscribe button, like the video, subscribe to the video, share the video with your friends. If you like tabletop gaming, miniatures, collectibles, all kinds of cool stuff like that, this is a great place to be for that. We do talk a lot more about science fiction stuff, Star Trek, Star Wars, a lot of that, but Thundercats, always been my jam. So let's get on with the unboxing. All right, so now I'm back here. You can see just how massive this thing is. I'm going to take a measure. This thing is, the box itself is, wow. All right, so the box is 34 inches tall, but there's a whole nother box. So it's going to be bigger than this. It's going to be massive. There's a whole nother box right here that is about just over 28 inches tall. And again, it's absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. They could not, this is a box that the FedEx driver could not carry to my front door. It had to be done in multiple trips and with hand trucks. There is a really big gash in the front. This was like straight from FedEx, and this also did penetrate into the actual box itself right here. So I'm hoping that there's no damage inside. That's a bummer. Fortunately for me, I'm not somebody who needs the box in pristine condition, because I do not save boxes. I know a lot of collectors out there save boxes, but if you were a collector who saved the box, definitely photograph all this stuff right away. But we're gonna go ahead and start getting this thing out. And the inside of the box, there's not any kind of extra packing material in here. It's right up next to it. So I'm gonna have to cut this thing open, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're just about there. Cut it up, almost. There we go. There we go. Now this is the back of the box. So at least, I guess the front of the box is going to be kind of okay. Oh my goodness. It's massive. Now this is box 1 of 2. There's a whole nother box that has all the other pieces, because I think this thing is going to be even taller than the box can potentially contain. Doesn't look like there's any other damage to the front of the box outside of a little bit of warping here on the sides. This is the biggest box I've ever seen. I mean, I think the Thunder Tank was almost as big as this. It is huge. We're gonna go ahead and get all the pieces out of here and see how it looks before we put it together. All right, so I'm gonna take you guys on a little walk just around this thing to get a close-up view of the box and some of the details. Just before we rip it apart, I know some people like to see what's what's written on the box, what's on the back side. We've got a kind of a look at the interior in there, some of the accessories, and it's not as well lit back here as we kind of come behind. This is the part that was damaged and ripped open. We can see a little bit of the inside there. It's going to take some batteries too. Apparently the eyes and the chest are going to light up, which is pretty cool. And we're looking at this part. So normally it's well, you know, I have better lighting than this, but this box is so big it's blocking out my lights, which is really funny. And this is the smaller box here, which is going to have just the head and the paws. So this is the same on the front and the back. All right, I'm gonna get this thing open and see how many pieces it is. All right, opening up, we've got all of the little pieces here on top. This is lots of the interior pieces. We've got our little weapon rack, we've got chairs, we've got, I'm gonna look at all these in closer, but everything is kind of set aside here. There's a lot of kind of scatter bits, a lot of the little stretch goals and things like that. I love this table. Oh, that is so cool. Very cool. All right, so we've got a lot of the pieces out. We've got these computer terminals. We've got some inserts that can go in there. We've got a couple of, basically computer screens that can go. We can have adjustable. We've got these turrets that move. We're going to look at those also. All the chairs, the table, all those racks, and then we pulled this out and boom. And that's just absurd. It's so big. It's bigger than a kid. It's bigger than a small adult. It's bigger than a large adult that's crouched down. I could fit myself and another small person in this box. We gotta get this thing out. All right, it is out of the box. Just the base of it, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I love the shading, like how you've got this gray and you've got just very, very, very subtle blues in here that are just like, oh my God, like this is really good. Very subtle gradient blues, just really good paint job on this thing. I don't have to fine tune it at all. It looks really, really good. Love it. I got emotional when looking at this. I have a story about the Cat's Lair when I was a kid. My parents were divorced and we were real poor one year, and all I wanted was the Cat's Lair, and they didn't have any. It was sold out and we couldn't really afford it anyway. And then, a couple days after Christmas, we got a surprise visit, and it was my dad. And I was so happy to see my dad because I never got to see him. And he had a giant box, and it was the Cat's Lair, and he had bought it for me and surprised me with it. And it was amazing, and I literally got kind of misty-eyed when I pulled this out because I felt that feeling again. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. We've got the back section here. It's huge here in the back. This opens up. We're gonna, there's more I have to do to fancy it up, but this is really cool. We're gonna do more. We're gonna get better lighting on it once we get all the rest of the pieces in here and then fill it out. All right, so in the other box we had these two, and these I think are mostly similar. I may have this one on the wrong side. I may have to flip-flop them. And we have the head here, which is just incredible. Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. All right, I'm gonna keep working on this. I did put this thing on a Lazy Susan so I can rotate it around. So I feel like I'm cheating putting it on a Lazy Susan, but I love it. It's good enough for now. It's good enough for the video. All right, so it is now together. This thing is incredibly huge, and I'm having to use a wide angle lens just to capture the whole thing. I do have it on the Lazy Susan, so I'm able to spin it around a little bit. I don't know if I'll keep it this way all the time because I do want it to actually be flush with the ground right now, but this is super cool. These come up and they can actually stay up, which is really cool. We can take our turrets here, which also can go up and down, like so, whoosh, and up like that. And you got handlebars here so your figures can go in. You have foot pegs in here, and then a little bit of painting applications and some buttons and things like that in there. And then these can go there. And those are your little defense platforms. Or if you, now the Thunder Tank will not fit in there. The Thunder Tank is massive, so it won't fit in there. But if you have a smaller Thunder tank, you could do that. I think if you have the original Thunder tank from the 1980s, then that one might fit in there. I don't still have that one. Both of these open up. This opens up here. We have our front doors open up as well, and there is also lights, which we can turn on the lights here and do some of that. We're going to showcase the back a little bit, and but I want to look at showcase a little bit more on the paint on some of these, because there's some things that I was concerned about. Since we get really close to some of this, I guess they were trying to do some weathering on all of these blue paint pieces, so there's like a silver dry brushing over some parts of it. I'm not super crazy about that. At least it's consistent though. It's on all of the pieces. So I get it. But yeah, that was just a little weird to me. But it's only on the blue pieces, right? Like there's none on like this, on this like gunmetal portion, and there's none on the head itself as well. By the way, this head is just awesome. All right. It's beautiful. I don't know if it's going to show up as well right here, but the lights come on. This light also comes on, but it's a separate button that you have to push on the inside of the unit. And I don't like that they have a separate button for one and not the other. They are linked together with a little cable. Before you put the head on, you link a cable together. Another thing that's cool is that these actually come up and they're blasters in there. So that's a cool thing. So they can come out and shoot. Of course, the eyes in the show would also shoot lasers, and then you can have this open up. And then, of course, the Thundercats can storm out the front door. Also, another thing I'm not super crazy about is I thought there was a staircase leading up to the actual doors here. So, yeah, that's a weird thing, because like the staircase leads up to here, but this isn't a door. This is just to like the chamber where they put the Thundrillium. So yeah, that's a weird thing. I guess I'll have to go back and rewatch, because I thought there was like somebody's gonna come out of here and they're gonna fall, and then they're gonna have workman's comp from Thundera. So that's weird. Let's look at the inside. All right, as we spin it around, we do have this whole mountainy top with some grain stuff on top, which is pretty cool. Average paint job on this. It's fine. You're not really looking for a tremendous paint job. You do have these little bits here that will kind of go in here and seemingly like they can lock it shut, but it doesn't feel like it really seals too good. I guess there you go. If you get the top portion in, it can actually kind of seal, so it can just be one cohesive piece, but it's pretty easy to pop open. I think if you seal it and keep opening it and closing it multiple times, you may kind of wear some of the plastic out a little bit, but then yeah, it opens up, and we have our entire interior here with all kinds of goodies. So we're gonna look at some of those. Also, I like the hinge of the door. I don't know if you guys just noticed that, like it naturally kind of wants to close, but then once you get it past this point right there, now it's going to naturally want to stay open, which is really cool. It kind of helps itself to not try to close on you. Of course, I don't think you'll always have it elevated above, on a Lazy Susan like I do here, but this works for the video. So we got a couple of cool features here. We have like a little weapons chamber here. You can put like the nunchucks. Let's get closer. I want to showcase these a little more detail. All right, so in addition to like the stairs and the plating, you also do have tunneling that goes all the way through to where the paws open up, which I think is just a really cool little feature, that it is a cohesive tunnel that actually goes all the way through. I love that. But yeah, you can put now this is ideal for Chitara's bow, the bolo whip from Tigra, and Panther's nunchuck. This slides, and there's a little rotating lever here. It's a little stiff though, so you kind of have to help it move. So you kind of help it a little bit. They had this nice piece that you can put the Sword of Omens and the claw shield on, and it's actually felt right here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's really cool. It's a nice little felt piece, and we have a piece of stuff here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put that on there. And now this is, I feel like this is like slightly smaller than Lionel's claw shield, but maybe it's not. I'll grab Lionel and we'll do a comparison in a little bit. But yeah, and then we can put the Sword of Omens resting right there, and the Sword of Omens sleeps, and now we can lock it away. Come on, there we go. Oh, did it fall down? Yeah, it sure did. Oh boy, and it fell, and it's like it fell. Wow, it's gone. Somebody just stole the Sword of Omens. Did you see that? So I heard it crack down. It's probably fell into one of the side panels. Oh, yep, yeah, it's in there. It's in there. Oh, almost. Come on. Well, this is so don't put your Sword of Omens in there like that. I probably won't do that. Or yeah, I'll just kind of keep it, or just keep it on display right here when you're not going to move it anymore, or something like that. Or glue it. Maybe consider gluing it. So I'm just going to pull that out for right now, because again, it's hard to move. I think you need to like do both. I don't think you can just use this little piece, but it's clever that they have it there. So that's funny. This is what happens. I'm not going to edit that out either. I thought that that's a good way to kind of showcase so a little bit of the frustration there, and it's okay. There's a whole lot more pluses than negatives here. This is a really nice piece. We've got like all of this little science-y stuff. It's in that same Thundercat blue. We've got, and this had a little protective piece over that. So just a lot of cool little stuff. This is where Tigra makes his crystal meth, Thunderian meth, actually. Okay, so yeah, fun. On this other side, we have Panther's little workbench here, and I thought that this is cool because you've got like all of these little pegs, and I was like, what are these for? And I'm like, oh, you can put like. You can put his chain or his Samo flange and all this other stuff in there, and hang them up that way. Again, I don't know if I'd want to store them that way permanently, because again, if you're closing the doors and stuff like that, things are going to fall down. But I'm sure there's probably a better way to do. I'm sure this one probably goes like that, a little easy. Oh, that went in there really easy. Yeah. So I'm sure there's different ways to do it. Oh, that one goes in there pretty well, doesn't it? There's a couple of ways that you can do that. So I think it's very cool that they give you all these tools and stuff, and it's a good work area for Panthro. And over on this side, you have sort of like the common area with all the big windows. This awesome table, by the way, it's actually like a bowl. It's hollow inside, but it's tight enough that it actually has a. But I love the look of this table. It's beautiful, minus the fingerprints on there for me just playing the drums on it. The only thing that's unfortunate about this table is that there's no place for it to like get stored in here. So when this closes, it doesn't fit in there super well. So I guess you can kind of put it up sideways. But yeah, so it's. I guess that's an option. But you've got all of these chairs. The chairs are cool, and you have what do you have like? 5 of them, 6 of them. So I'll go around the table and sit around the table, and you can set these up kind of whichever way you want. Yeah. As we go up higher, you do have a middle level here with like a rail and the Eye of Thundera. Not a whole lot of special features on this level, other than that's where the front doors open up to. The top level is where the cool stuff happens. You've got these little stations that are going to go on either side. You've got a chair that can go right here, and we've got the button which turns that on and also turns on the light on the front. So we have basically a button that's on the back of the head, and then also a button right here on the control panel. It takes 3 AA batteries. You put those on underneath the head. Now these control panels or these little computers are interesting because you have little different screens, so you can swap it around. It gives you 3 of these cardboard bits, so you can swap them out. The problem is there's two terminals, and they give you 3 cardboard, so there's like 6 potential faces. But it's just awkward having 3 of these and only enough places to put 2. I get that it gives you extra versatility, but like now I'm like I have to find a place to store this weird semicircle of cardboard now because I can only have 2 in there at once. So and here's the other one. And so we can have different things that we could put on there. But I like this one because it's got the Eye of Thundera on there. So we can have some Thundercats on the top. Also, for this top part up here, we have all of these different sort of fill-ins. We've got the Eye of Thundera. We've got like a topographical map. We've got Mum-Ra's Pyramid. We've got space. And then we've got Hook Mountain. So we're going to put... See if I'm going to try this. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm going to try to put this in there for the first time. And it's going to slide in and up. There it is. Get in there. Boom. And there we go. Now we can see Hook Mountain on the screen. Let's zoom in a little bit better. There we go. And I think to get that out, gosh, I don't know how I'm going to get that out. That doesn't seem like that's going to want to come out. So we're going to keep Hook Mountain in there for right now. Yeah, doesn't seem like there's an easy release for that because there's a little ridge here. Oh, I guess I can pull the whole thing. Oh gosh, did I break it? No. All right. Hook Mountain comes out. We'll put Mum-Ra's pyramid in there, I guess. Can I put it in this way? Oh, I can put it in this way. All right, so I can do a lot of. Oh, all right. So this whole faceplate slides out. Okay, I don't have to slide it in from the top. Okay, so that's cool. There's a couple of ways to do that. Now we're gonna see how the figures fit in here, but I also want to show you how it looks with the lights on as well. All right, so I've dimmed the lights a little bit just so you can get a little bit more of a natural feel. You can see I've got this same light powers the chest light, but I've also hit this button here to turn on the eye lights, and that's how it looks now with both of those lights on. It looks very, very cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. And did I mention that I love it? All right, so here we have a look with just some of the figures for a kind of a quick scale reference. You know, we've got Lino and Mum-Ra, Panthro against Slides. We've got the Thunder Kittens on the bottom, Jaga in the doorway. So you can easily fit a character even with weaponry in the doorway. So that much is pretty cool. But again, you can still see that this isn't a true scale, but it's definitely more than sufficient to be a playset. It definitely gets the job done, and you couldn't actually do a true scale. So like, what choice did you have, really? So that's really cool, and yeah, we'll do a little bit of some other shots of some other figures as well. All right, so we've got some other smaller Thundercats to put in. Now these guys were from a grab bag series. I don't remember what the name of them were, but they're kind of like a little bit chibi style. But they're definitely a little bit smaller. They're only about, 4 inches tall or so. So they're much smaller scale, but also definitely appropriate for this scale. And then below we have our little 28 millimeter scale Zombicide. Here's Lino and Slithe, for example. Slightly a little bit of a variation on the art style. This is kind of the look they were going for from the Zombicide. Still Thundercats, but there was a few artistic kind of examples taken with this one. This is a little bit more from the reboot of Thundercats, but it's also given like a little bit of a medieval flair. You know, you've got the Panthro box also, and then those Mum-Ra box as well. So you know, but still pretty cool. And the other thing is too, there was this key that was also one of the stretch goals. I really don't know what to do with this. I don't think it unlocks anything. I think it's just a keepsake or something like that. But I don't get it. So this will probably just go into my bag of extra stuff. So yeah, so there's that. So that is that's this. Now I'll probably set up the Thunder Tank next to it too, so you can see the comparison there. And here's the Thunder Tank next to it. So just to give you an idea of scale. You know, obviously this couldn't fit in here, although it does in the show. So this is, again, a sliding scale, just to give you an idea. That's about that. Now I can't actually set these up next to each other on the same table. This table's not big enough. I'd have to come up with something else, but I think I'll just have this set up behind it or below it. I have a lot of different options for that. And because I love crossovers, let's do another 1980s crossover. Although I guess the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was in the 90s technically, but I'm still counting it as an 80s crossover. We've got He-Man, we've got Splinter and the Ninja Turtles going up against Shredder. I don't know. I mean, I thought mutants were off limits to the Cat's Lair, but I guess these mutants can still make it. All right, so one final shot here, just kind of showcasing some characters inside and seeing how well they kind of sit in the chairs. The chairs are designed fairly well, but not all of the characters really want to sit very well. We do also have a guest cameo from Quicksilver from the Silverhawks. Say hello, Quicksilver. The same voice actors who did both shows, so I figure I'll go ahead and include him in there as well. Plenty of standable room in here. You know, we've got plenty of room for all kinds of accessories. And then the table, I mean, again, with all of the chairs, it's 7 chairs too, by the way. Very cool stuff. You can have all the grown-up Thundercats sitting around. A lot of them just don't want to sit there. Lion-O has got Thunderian hemorrhoids or something. Just doesn't want to do it. Panthro is mad. Tigra is even more mad. He's like, I can't sit in this chair. I can only stand. but that is kind of how the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. It's a great set, and I think that's gonna wrap up this video. I'll probably have more photos and reels and stuff on social media. So if you want to check out our Discord or Facebook, Instagram, all Blue Sky, all that other stuff, we're gonna have links in the video description below. And be sure to subscribe, like the video, share the video, all that cool stuff. I will talk to you later. I want to thank you so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this whole channel possible. And as always, let's close out with, may the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. So say we all. The spice must flow. You can't take the sky from me. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Ho! And always wash your socks.